Hello, this is Brooks Whittington with halfwheel.com. Today we're taking a look at the Palio tabletop cutter. Now, this is a retail cutter made for retail shops that has 4 different blades in it, 4 different cutters in it, 2 straight and 2 V cuts of different sizes. This was introduced at the 2017 IPCPR show, but did not actually ship to retailers until 2018. Only comes in this one matte black color, which has a little bit of a minor issue, but we'll get to in a minute. But it costs $150 retail, and it is a 3.6 pound cutter. Very, very heavy. The idea on this is that you do have these options here, these 4 options to cut cigars, and so you can have all of the different people who come in here and want different sizes and different cuts and different depths can actually have what they want in one different cutter. Now, one same cutter. Now, I have used this cutter for a little more than a month on every review that I did, and I can tell you safely that this is essentially one of the best retail cutters that I've ever seen and ever used. It's heavy, it's well made, it's extremely easy to use. You just push down on this lever here and cut the cigars. There are some issues we'll get to in a minute, but first I want to show you that another of the advantages of this cutter specifically, this huge reservoir in the back here, in the bottom, sorry, that actually carries all of that, all of the debris. Very easy to clean out. You just dump it out, and very, very, very large, which means that you don't have to clean it out every 15 minutes. It's going to last for a little while. Also, these little nubs here, they have rubber on them, and it means that combined with the 3.6 pound weight means that if you try to push on it, it actually is very difficult to actually push. It's not going to go anywhere unless somebody picks it up, basically. So, wonderful, wonderful cutter. Advantages to this cutter are numerous. The biggest one is the really great options that you have, the number of options you have. There's 4 cutters on here. The 2 straight cuts, the largest cut is a 60 ring gauge and the smallest cut is a 52 ring gauge, while the largest V cut on this is a 58 and the smallest is a 52. And basically what it means is that you can get any number of depths or sizes or amounts that you want to cut off on this with just by using the different ones. You want a little bit of a deeper cut for the V cut, you go with the largest one. You want to go a little bit deeper cut on the straight cut, you go with the largest one, or vice versa. You want something that's a little bit more shallow on both of those, you go with the more shallow, the smaller cuts on both of those. This works extremely well and is very, very, very good. It does have some minor issues that we'll get to, but for the most part, this thing is built like a tank. The blades are sharp. I had no issues using it whatsoever, except for the fact that I had to carry it around, which you won't be doing most likely. Let's get to some cigars cut and let's see how it works. As I mentioned, you basically just push down on this lever here. It's a very simple process. It does take a little bit of getting used to because it is you're pushing 4 blades down. But in terms of actually using it, it's very, very simple. You can have any number of different options when it comes to cutting cigars. One of the major, major great things about this cigar, advantages about this cutter, is the idea that you have all of these options. So let's say you have a 60 ring gauge here, and you want to cut this thing a straight cut. Okay, well, you can basically put this in the largest straight cut. You push down firmly, cuts through, and you have yourself a very, very nice straight cut that you can see. No issues whatsoever on that. Very easy to get a very nice cut. Let's say you want a torpedo. I prefer my torpedoes typically to be a V cut, but I prefer a little bit of a deeper cut. So let's put this in the largest V cut. Push down firmly. Come out, and you have yourself the same straight, easy cut. That is easy to see that you have no issues there when it comes to actually having a very, very nice clean blade cut. So you have that. Let's say you have something smaller though. You want something a little bit smaller. How about basically a 40, let's call it a 44 ring gauge. You go with a little bit smaller one. Let's do the straight cut on that. Little straight cut on the small, and you push down, and you have yourself a relatively clean cut. And you can easily see that there's no issues with any of that. And then when you want to clean it out, you just turn it over, pull this thing out, dump it. You do have to go straight down, pretty much straight up and down. And you have yourself all of that, which you get rid of very easily. Push this back and then put it back down, and you have yourself ready to go again. Easy to use, very, very, very clean cuts for the most part. There are a couple of disadvantages, a couple of problems, very minor in this grand scheme of things. One of them is the fact that this does not have an attachment of any sort, so that a chain can be attached to it for a retail shop. It really should have one, so people don't just walk off with it. It is heavy, but you just never know, and it really should have something. If it's a retail cutter, which it is, built for retail, then it should have something like that. The other minor issue is the fact that this matte black color definitely shows fingerprints and things of that nature, and it's something that is not it's not chipping or anything. The paint's not coming off, but it definitely shows a little bit of the marks and imperfections in that. When you scratch it up a little bit, it'll definitely show. Other than that, this is essentially one of the best retail cutters that I've seen and used, and any retail shop would probably love to have it. And if you have a retail shop and you need a cutter like this, this is probably the one that you want to buy. So for halfwheel.com, any other reviews, news for cigars related, go to halfwheel.com and check it out.